Hi there, in this video we're going to start our long document project. Okay, it's going to be an annual report. It's going to be really long. Okay, you can see my pages here. Let's have a quick little look at it. Page after page after page after page after page. Okay, and we're going to start with looking at primary text frames, which is probably the most important thing you need to do when you're working with long documents, and also the first thing you need to do, which is great. So let's go and do that now. Okay, so when it comes to working with a long document, the most important part is getting something called the primary text frame set up. And to do it, you need to do it at the document creation time. And to do it, you need to do it at the beginning when you create the document. You can't retrofit a document to make this work. It's just too hard. And actually, I think it just can't be done. So if you have an existing document and you're finding it hard to work on, you can just copy and paste it into a new document that has the primary text frame set up. So to do it, let's go to File, New, or hit this little New button. And we're going to be doing ours for print. We're going to be doing US letter. And over here, we're going to have facing pages because we're going to do a long document, side-by-side pages. And this, my friend, is the magical button, okay, called primary text frame. We're going to have pages as 1, that's fine. Columns, we're going to have 2. And the gutter here is going to be quite thick just to match our style. Now remember, mine's stuck to millimeters because I keep doing jobs in between. And the gutter in this case is going to be 0.6, so quite big. If you're using metric numbers, put in 16 millimeters, 16, okay, so quite big. So we're going to have 0.6 inches, and columns 2, in terms of the margins all the way around, I'm going to break the little link so they're not all the same. The top in this case is going to be 1.2. I'll go through the metric in a second. The bottom is going to be 2 inches. And the sides are going to be each 0.8 inches, 0.8 even. Okay, if you want to do this in millimeters, it's 30 for the top, 50 for the bottom, and 20 for the inside and outside. Now remember, this is just because that's the way I want this document to look. You saw it at the beginning of this video. Bleed, okay, who remembers what bleed is? That's right, it's an 1/8 of an inch. So 0.125, we have to use decimal places, okay, all the way around, or 3 millimeters if you're using millimeters, and slug we never use. Let's click create. Okay, so what is this primary text frame? Well, basically it's a pre-made text box that goes on your master page. Okay, and I'm on page 1 here and I can click on this and you see there's a text box ready to go. And the cool thing about it is if I just throw in some placeholder text, you can see it's got columns already matched into it and the gutter already matches the one I set up in my new document. So it kind of preloads it with a text box, which is really cool. Whereas in previous tutorials, we've created these columns and just used them as guides. And then we've gone through and grabbed the type tool and drawn out stuff and then gone up here and switched it to 2 columns. And okay, so it saves a little bit of time that way. What's really cool about it is that when I add text to it, okay, it's going to generate as many pages as I need. And that is what's really helpful. So let's go and do that. Let's go by black arrow, make sure we've got nothing selected, click in the background, go to File, go to Place. Okay, you can copy and paste, okay, from Word, but I'm going to use this way because I'm going to show you a little trick when we bring it in. We're going to go to Options, and I'm going to click on Show Import Options. Okay, then click Open. This little box opens up, and by default, it's going to remove the styles. Now, to make this easier for everybody, I've gone through in Word and made all the titles bold, just because otherwise it's really hard to figure out where the titles are. Okay, so I'm going to change it from Remove All Styles to Preserve Styles and click OK. Now my cursor is loaded. I can stick it anywhere I like. I'm going to stick it on this page. And what we're looking for is, see my pages panels up? Okay, I've got 1 page, but if I click on this, kick back, relax, watch what happens. Takes its time. Well, hey, look. So it's generated all of our pages, and you can see there's quite a few here. There's nearly 30. Okay, well, there's exactly 30. So that is the role of the primary text frame. It doesn't seem like much, but the alternative is this. I'm going to create a new document. Great, I'm going to do cool things just real quickly. It's going to be the same as the last one. Great, but I'm going to turn primary text frame off, and this is what you have to do. So there's no text box here. We have to grab the text box, and that's no big drama, like it doesn't take us that long, right? And I have to match the amount of columns. So I have to go to paragraph, 2 columns, match the width. I can't even remember what the width was. I think it's 16 millimeters. Okay, so it's matching that now, awesome. And now I have to go and place my text, File, Place. So exactly the same, except when I manually create that box, they're not linked to all the other pages. So I go, do the exact same thing, happy days. So you'll notice there's no extra pages generated. So what we have to do is this. We have to go down to create new page. Okay, and then we have to go to this top page. It's called the output. Okay, it's this little red cross down here. If I zoom in, that's him there. Okay, and when he's red, that's bad. It means that there's text. We know that the text, this is like 30 pages, but it only stops here. So it means that although we can see one page, there's a lot of other pages hidden. Okay, and it's this thing here where this output, okay, terrible name for it, is overset, which just means there's too much to copy in it and it's gone red. Okay, a little plus button. So what we can do is we can go through and create another type box. Okay, we can do it down here. Hello. Make sure it's the right columns. Make sure it is got the right gutter. Oh, come on, I can click it. 16. Okay, and what I'm going to do is black arrow, click on this, click on the red thing, just come down here, click inside this. Hey, and they're linked up. Okay, so that one now flows from here and flows down to here, but unfortunately it's still overset. So you're going to have to go and link all of these pages. Okay, you'll cry. So make a new document, make sure it has got a primary text frame and it will generate this stuff for you. Another nice thing is because it's on the master page, watch this. If I double click the master page, either the left or right spread, say I go the right spread. If I halve it down here, I want to do something like this. Can you see all of the pages adjust as well? They're all controlled. Okay, so it's generated more, and because there's not as much room on every page, it's generated some extra pages. Remember it was at 30, now it's at 38. Okay, it doesn't delete them though if I make this big. You have to manually go and delete them afterwards. You can see it's sucked back up to page 29 or 30, but there's all these empty columns. You can go into preferences and turn a setting on that will delete them when they're empty. It's not on by default. It's not hard to delete them. You just got to select them all and hit the trash can. Last thing we do whenever you bring in a lot of text, I'm going to go from my master page to page 1, is that I've brought it in from Word, okay? And we said preserve the styles. Okay, so what happens is when you preserve the styles, it goes to Window, let's open up styles, paragraph styles. It's brought in any styles from Word, and they'll always be probably normal. Normal is their body copy font. Okay, so all I want to do is have nothing selected. Click on this guy and say go away, and it says we're deleting it, but it's being used in this document. What would you like to do? I say replace with my basic paragraph, which is my like nothingness. Okay, replace with none, basically. Okay, so it's gone through, removed any of the normal formatting. You might have a lot in here. Okay, it might have brought through heading, heading 2, heading 3, normal, or bunch of stuff. Okay, you have nothing selected, delete them all, and you'll be back to kind of being able to adjust them as you see fit. Okay, so that's a long explanation on what a primary text frame is. Okay, so basically you just need to file a new document and you got to tick that little box. But now we know how it works and how we could use it. Let's get into the next video where we start laying out this long document and look at some of the other features that's going to make long documents super easy for you to do.